Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. We are here on a Monday, which is a bit different. There's a large group of people going to see the Batman tomorrow night. So I had to change it up. I mean, because this is the finale of 1883. I didn't want to delay talking about it. I want to go ahead and talk about this thing right away. As you can see right now, it's just myself and Roth. Look, there we go. We've got
Hey, look at that timing.
Lakota Arrow Dipper. Wow.
I'm that guy.
You're that guy.
You can blame me.
Garrison Rifen.
Yeah.
Sorry, he said he finished editing the news.
Oh, yeah. So we got, I'm Garrison Rifen. No, that's more Scott. I'm Garrison Rifen. I don't know if I can do it. I'm not good.
And I'm Garrison Rifen.
That's pretty good. So yeah, we got Craig hanging out, even though he doesn't watch 1883. We've got Garrison hanging out, even though he doesn't watch 1883. So I love it. Rhett.
So let's talk about Morbius. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Morbius trailer.
There's Rhett. There he is.
Oh.
There's lightning rotting corpse. God.
Breathing heavily into his mic.
What's up?
Yeah. What's up? We're just getting started here.
We're live, by the way.
We are live. Oh yeah, we're live. My bad. Yeah. I'm prompt. I don't mess
Michael
around.
doesn't mess around.
I'll bring people in as they show up. I don't care.
Yeah, no, you got a schedule to keep. I understand.
Yeah, no, it's this episode was devastating.
No,
this may be the most devastating episode of television I've ever seen. I mean, I don't know.
No, it had a real red wedding feel to it.
It did. It really did.
But less, but more satisfying. I mean, there was nothing.
Yeah.
I guess
nothing shocked me in any of this.
Well, we'll talk about that because I was shocked with some of the decisions they made. But so Roth, just
I agree with that.
A high level standpoint before we dive into the details of the episode, what was your thoughts of the way they went? Even though I see it says you were right about everything.
I mean, last episode you asked for predictions and I nailed it. I said Shay would see the ocean and end it. I said they would get to Montana. They would, for some reason, have to go north instead of west.
That's true. You did say that.
There we go. I think I nailed everything.
You pretty much did.
You're the man.
I got the pulse on the west, my finger on the pulse of the west. And we will be getting into that a little bit because this whole fort situation.
I was puzzled by the fort situation.
Casper.
I found that to be the weakest part of the episode.
Yes,
You talked about, they needed some reason to go north. I thought this was a terrible one. Just the whole that setup and why we have to now do this. Weirdly tying it back to the guys, the deputies that they killed. I didn't. There was no payoff to that. I didn't. Right. I thought that was just kind of slopped together so we could split our characters up where they needed to go. That was the one thing I found a little off-putting about it. Kept it from being perfect because I didn't quite buy some of the motivation and setup there. But otherwise, I mean, from an emotional beat standpoint, it hit everything it needed to hit. But I thought the setup was a little, So.
I kept trying to recognize the doctor. I didn't recognize the guy.
I figured it out because it's not on IMDb yet. Did you ever watch Once Upon a Time?
I've seen several episodes of that.
He was in that. He was Jiminy Cricket. Actually, I watched the whole series.
He was Jiminy Cricket.
Okay. Because I thought I recognized the guy, but it's like one of those things where he's a character actor and you've seen him in stuff before.
He was in Risky Business. He was in 24. He was in Blue Bloods.
Oh,
what's his name?
What did he do in 24?
Raphael Sbarge, S-B-A-R-G-E.
That's the guy's name.
He was in 24.
Oh, I know his name. I mean, I've heard that name. Yeah, just a character actor he's been in.
He's been in a ton of stuff.
If you scroll his list, I bet you find 15 things that you watched.
One episode of this, 3 episodes of this.
Yeah. He's never in a series for that long. So Dr. Earl, your thoughts in general about the way that the season ended?
Well, I mean, I was pretty sure that Elsa was going to die. I'm like
glad
Rhett.
that they did that.
Yeah, well, no, they needed to. They didn't.
They
need
needed
to. Have a happy
I mean,
ending.
I was afraid that the whole Native American part, she was going to get magically healed during that, and I would not have. I loved
herbs
Graham
and
Greene
the incense.
Yeah, but kudos to Sheridan for paying that off. I mean, he stuck with it. He had a plan from day one, and there was no Deus Ex Machina to save her. She went. They took her out.
They even doubled down with Graham Greene saying that they put manure on the arrow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the arrow dipper. That's my job.
That's right.
To make sure they're the deadliest of arrows. No, I felt bad that like Joseph, like here's the guy, like at the end, here's a guy with one leg.
Yeah, somebody help him build his house for the love.
I mean, he's out there by himself. I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't he just go with the Duttons and say, I'll work on your land or something? Although, what good is a one-legged man? They could have formed a. They could have formed a good prosthetic.
What good is a one-legged person? if you're the old one-legger out there, too bad for you.
I mean, in the days of prosthetics, of non-prosthetics.
Now
they
could put a blade on there.
Now we accept you because we have good prosthetics. But back
then,
we probably should have just put them down or something. I don't.
Yeah, from a medical standpoint, there was no reason to. That was a brutal scene, though. Cutting the dude.
That's pretty legit. I was thinking, do they really know how to sew that flap? I mean, you gotta cut that just right.
Well, they did a lot of that 20 years. Yeah, 20 years earlier, they were doing that every day.
Yeah. They had to have them bite on the strap.
What's interesting, Earl, is
that flap.
Yeah,
I wish I'd use that name.
Yes, so that flap was my emo band in high school. So that's interesting that you say that.
I mean, it was an above knee amputation. You gotta have enough skin to wrap it. You got to do it right.
Thomas knew what was up. Thomas had
tourniqueted. Yeah,
Thomas had done that before. Yeah, I mean. Once again, Taylor Sheridan, in regards to spiritual matters, is so far. Like he's a loop. It's almost as bad as the series finale of BSG when it comes to that type of thing. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, where did Elsa get that theology in Tennessee in the late 1800s? Good grief!
He's existential all the way, baby.
Yeah, that's not what you learned from.
And unfortunately, it looks like Enos did not make it to heaven.
No, Enos wasn't there.
At least there. Yeah, no, that's. Get into those theological questions. What if you had two lovers that which one? How do you end up in heaven? Yeah. No, we didn't get there. It's just Sam waiting for her there at the threshold.
It was a beautiful thing. So the one thing I did not like was that what's her name, Margaret? Is that the Maggie or what?
The mom? Yeah,
the mom. Like she can ride a horse. Why couldn't she?
That is something I
had. She had to stay behind with the kid.
Yeah, well, what about Shay? If Shay was going to stay back there anyways.
But Shay was going to be there. I mean, not that he's the best, babysitter, but I'm just saying
he could drive the wagon up towards where they were going.
I just didn't. I didn't buy that they would just he would leave the mom, and just go do it himself. But I mean, that's
just like one more mouth to have to feed on that trip. I mean, he was trying to move quickly. I mean, you just gotta.
She's a good horse rider.
Mm-hmm. He was going to make dinner for everybody while she was gone.
She offered Elsa some bacon.
She did.
Like, you want some bacon?
She sang in this episode.
I mean, that might be the heaven right there.
Again, she did great. I mean, she's passable in everything that she has done. That sounds worse than it is. I was pleasantly surprised by her, but I was
Faith Hill.
but I was blown away by Tim McGraw. I think throughout this whole thing, he has risen to the level. I mean, dude sharing the screen with Sam Elliott and holds his own.
Yes.
And he really impressed me throughout this.
And let me say this too, like there's not many young actresses, Isabel May's age, that even get an opportunity to be part of a really like dramatic. You know what I mean? Like this was a great opportunity for her to be in a, you know, like a real acting opportunity. You know, what I'm saying is a lot of,
usually it's like rom-coms and stupid,
and they have
stupid
to like
drama,
age into sort of doing these dramas.
Yeah.
And so I think I like to see that an American actress is given an opportunity
and like even
and doing a good job.
The production was,
huh?
Yeah, the production
size on 1883. I mean, probably not as much money, obviously, as like a Marvel movie, but everything going on, same type of production style and size as something like that.
Yeah, and they do. And apparently, I was listening to an interview that Tim McGraw gave, and apparently that last episode, the weather was brutal, like absolutely brutal. Like, and people were getting sick because it was getting so cold. And he said they barely made it through that shoot. It was so difficult.
They barely survived the winter.
They literally barely survived the winter. I do want to talk about real quick before I forget, because I will forget if I don't. There was an interesting interview with the executive producer that came out today, and this is a shout out to Garrison for sending this link, because I was unclear of exactly what was going to be happening, and watching this finale, it's even more unclear. But there's not really apparently going to be an 1883 season 2. They're going to have additional episodes of 1883, not call it like a season 2. Just call them, special episodes. And then 1932 is supposed to be more like the sequel, basically, where you're continuing to follow the Dutton family just in a different time frame or whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to Yellowstone, because we saw the home with James is shot. He comes into the home bleeding out or whatever, and it was very clearly that he was probably not going to make it through there. I think the kid was older, maybe.
Well, there was 2 kids, which I'm still confused by.
All right, well, good. Did they adopt?
I don't know.
She's well beyond her viable.
Well, not in the show though. In the show, she's only in her 30s or something.
36.
Well, I mean.
So I wonder if these additional episodes, I've never watched the show, but this just popped in my head, is I've never watched the show because it scares the crap out of me. Euphoria. I guess during the pandemic.
I can't watch.
Oh yeah, they did that.
They had those random mini episodes.
During the holidays. They had 2 episodes, one that was more based on the Jules character and one that was more based upon I just watched the Rue character. I just watched the stupid.
See, like I said, I don't watch it. I only know that because it's Zendaya.
I watched 2 really depressing, very depressing finales in back-to-back yesterday. So.
Euphoria also?
Yeah, Euphoria was super depressing.
Yeah.
Surprise.
So yeah, I mean, I think what happened, I don't think Taylor Sheridan ever had any intention to do anything more beyond one season of 1883, because he wanted to move on to 1932, but Paramount and this executive producer guy were like, look, people are loving these characters. Let's give them some extra episodes. We don't have to call it a season 2. Let's give them some extra episodes.
Well, the chatter out there has been, I mean, the people that I know, it's just anecdotal, I guess, but they like this more than Yellowstone.
Yeah. I mean,
people talk a lot about how this is the superior show, and it really is in many ways. And again, I think I've described it as I'm more entertained by Yellowstone, but 1883 is better. Yellowstone is, for all the heavy drama of Yellowstone, it's like watching a cartoon compared to 1883. It's light. So I think this was a much bigger hit than they thought, and has probably driven subscribers better than any other original on Paramount Plus. That's a blind guess, but it seems like that just from the chatter that's out in the world. I mean, it ain't Discovery driving the boat, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, I think that 1883 was their most watched, and then they said Mayor of Kingstown, which was another Taylor Sheridan joint. Now, when Halo comes out, it's probably going to dominate. But then all the Star Trek shows, apparently nobody watches those. Though, but I might be the only person watching this.
Halo has upset gaming purists already. So who knows how many of them follow it, into Paramount Plus.
Well,
and I'll probably enjoy it because I don't know much
what's
about
going on,
Halo.
Melissa.
That's what I was going to say, Dr. Earl. As a PlayStation guy, I'm very excited for the Halo.
As an Atari guy, I'll be really excited.
As an Intellivision guy, I look forward to Halo.
Earl waiting on the Space Invaders adaptation.
When Halo was coming out, I was a GameCube guy. I did not have a PlayStation.
Craig, I'm sorry. I probably confused, but no, he's not. I'm just saying that Halo's going to be on Paramount Plus and probably do pretty well.
But it's also not Halo canon. Okay.
Okay.
It is not canon with the game series.
We will let you explain that.
I will take your word for this, Mr. Gamerhead.
We will take your.
I did not know.
So
Mr. Gamerhead.
I wasn't super excited about Shay. I mean, what do we think about Shay's?
This is an Xbox headset. Yeah.
Oh, we've got a ColecoVision guy in the chat.
All right.
Sweet.
Any Dreamcast out there? No, short-lived.
Okay, Earl, what were you saying about Shay?
Maybe I'm jumping too quickly to the end.
No, we're just jumping all over the place.
Well, I wasn't super happy about the Shay ending, although it does make sense.
It's what he said he was going to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody knew. Yeah, that was telegraphed.
Yeah, I was just really hoping for a season 2 where it was more about their continued journey. Like I would have been okay if they dropped the Duttons off. Okay, yeah, it's about the Duttons, but let's have the rest of the group move onward. But then I guess Taylor Sheridan just wanted to kill everybody off. So.
No, he did. He just wanted everyone to die, which is probably more realistic.
About them.
The Shay bit, we talked about it in predictions, I think, and I'd kind of poo-pooed the idea that they would kill him off. But I guess in context, what I meant was they're not going to kill him off before he gets there. They absolutely had to pay him.
They're going to get him.
They had to pay off him seeing the ocean. I didn't think we would jump that far ahead in the finale. We did that toward the end. We did that 1 year jump, whatever, which doesn't make a ton of sense timeline-wise either. It should have been less than a year. They should have gotten there no later than the summer.
Well, they had to wait for, I guess. So.
Yeah, you winter in Montana and then you leave in the spring. You would have been there.
Well, maybe he hung out. We don't know. I mean, maybe Shay hung out.
Well, but then it's winter now again. And so it doesn't, it was, they probably should have done a few months later and it would have been, when you say 1 year later, you think 12 months exactly,
Right.
Which I didn't think that worked exactly like it should have. But I didn't see that coming. I didn't know we would jump ahead in the narrative.
Well,
that far.
And that made me realize we weren't going to have a season 2 when they did that jump. I said, okay, this might be the end of this.
Season 2, which I don't know how interesting it would be, but unless season 2 is about the Duttons putting up stakes. Now they could
taking place in 1884.
Yeah, I mean they could. Show that because I'm sure there's peril and maybe we do want to see how they are dealing with the death of Elsa and stuff like that. And maybe we'll get a few episodes like that, but I don't think they're going to do a whole season. I mean,
and we saw flashbacks to their life in Yellowstone,
already,
right?
Yeah.
Running into Indians, that was kind of cohabitating on that land. And I don't remember the details of that. Could that have been Graham Greene's family that he told they could always
have been Graham Greene being buried?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't remember the details of that in my head, but maybe there's some tie in there. It would make sense if this narrative moved forward in roughly that same timeline, that we would fill in some of those gaps. We find out how he got shot, and maybe that's what we see in some of these special episodes that
would make sense. That would make sense.
But also the idea of going ahead to 1932 and seeing, I guess his dad then would be the
it'd be the little kid, so John Senior.
It'd be it'd be John Senior, John's dad. Yeah. Dabney Coleman as a young man.
Dabney Coleman as a young man. Exactly.
But apparently there's 7 generations. So I watched this video just now that when Graham Greene said, 7 generations will take the land back. He counted it out.
It hasn't quite been.
Yeah, it would have been that in 18.
Luke, what's Casey could be 7, or Tate could be 7.
I would think Tate would be the 7.
So 7th,
because it'd go James, John Senior, John Junior, John the Third, which is Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Right.
Casey, Tate, 6.
Yeah.
Oh, so it might even be further out. So
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my sense from that was that pushed us far enough out into the future that we wouldn't have to deal with it. that was how I that's what I interpreted there. That's just a throwaway.
Unless he makes a jump cut,
and also
some point in Yellowstone,
or another series,
and also
or another series. Yeah, he can do it.
Yeah, but also that's almost nonsense talk because there are not Indians are not winning back their land in this country. I mean, they're not. I mean, that's not the way
we already won it.
You don't know rainwater, man.
That's not the way that process works. I mean, maybe I don't think they could get there. So I thought that was just kind of throwaway to kick the can down the road enough.
Yeah. Like have it be so far in the future that we don't even.
Yellowstone Jetsons where they're flying around these cars.
They're fighting the Indians with their laser swords.
Would watch.
I would watch all of that. Yeah.
2183. I would watch
2183. Oh. What's this?
Man.
My tribe.
He's talking about the Florida State Seminole tribe.
That is true. He was talking about the Seminoles.
Well, unless you count everybody in the ACC.
Oh no!
Wow,
you set yourself up for that, Garrison. Yeah, I mean, there were certainly just some really powerful scenes between Sam Elliott and Tim McGraw when they're talking about Elsa. Oh, dude, some of those lines were so good. Just Sam Elliott saying that he's never seen somebody like Elsa before, which I don't know. I mean, I get that we're supposed to feel that way about her, but she was kind of annoying sometimes. She's not Monica annoying, but she because nobody can be Monica annoying. But
the narrations came really close.
The narrations really.
She is lovely. I
struggled through the narration
for Elsa.
I'm so happy she's buried because that means we don't have narrations.
Oh, we don't know that.
No.
You don't know that.
She was dead in the end, still narrating, so that's fair.
Now, Earl, this is a medical question. Does her armpit hair continue to grow after her death?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Her belly will swell with the.
Oh, yes. Stop!
I'm sorry, we won't go there.
Yes.
The dysentery.
The dysentery.
Yeah, dude.
And
when she was in that cold water and those women were squeezing out
that's what you got to do. That was a great. I mean, you got to do that. That was good. A little hypothermic, slow down the infection, maybe.
Yeah, Graham Greene was like, the water will help. Let's put her in this freezing cold
Mineral
water.
Springs, baby. Probably.
How'd that work out? How did that ultimately work out, though?
Yeah,
it didn't,
well,
did it?
very well.
Well, I mean, that's right, Melissa. Well, I mean, Graham Greene was like, look, she's not going to make it. The Lakota used manure on their air. She's not going to pull through this. So I guess it was just more of like, the goal was to get her to land. So they were prolonging it as much as they possibly could to give him a chance to get her to someplace to bury, which
I am a little disappointed and frankly disgusted by Graham Greene's casting. He is not Crow Indian. He is Oneida Indian. So
he's what?
Oneida.
That is
that's rough. Yeah. Taylor, we need to write letters to Taylor Sheridan.
Literally shaking. I'm literally shaking.
Literally shaking. Yes. Yes.
I'm so triggered.
I doubt that any of the Native Americans that they had cast were actually the tribe that they were supposed to be. I would be impressed if Taylor Sheridan went that deep.
It's cultural appropriation.
I mean, you've got to have Graham Greene in your show.
Just as bad as Javier Bardem is in being
I'm very offended by that. He should have never been Ricky.
It should be a Cubano.
He should be a Cubano. Yeah, that's huge cultural appropriation. I can't believe he's nominated for an Academy Award. It's ridiculous.
Is he?
Yeah. Best actor.
Bardem? Really?
Yes.
They nominated a guy who gives an anti-communism speech at the Oscars. That's what I'm more excited or surprised by.
Yes.
I gotta see that movie now, I guess.
Speaking of awards, tons of chatter about who can and can't win and be nominated for this. Tons of people literally shaking over the concept of Elsa demanding that Elsa be that what's her name?
Isabel
May.
Yeah. Be rewarded for this. No.
Sorry. I mean, she's okay.
She didn't ruin the show, but that was not a performance. That was not elevated to the upper tier of drama. It was not.
I disagree with that. I disagree. Look. Okay.
Sam Elliott would probably be the only one that has a chance to win anything, just because of his age. Because this could be close to the last show that this guy does.
I mean,
it seems like everybody's dying in their 70s nowadays. I mean, nobody makes it in their 80s anymore.
Nominated. I think Tim McGraw should be nominated.
Yeah,
I think Isabel May should be nominated. I'm in the Isabel May. I'm literally shaking that y'all don't.
Yeah, no, she's not.
Great.
She's not great. She didn't destroy the show, but she's not great.
Yeah,
but you're talking about it. So you have to realize this is not a classically trained. This is an American actress.
But the awards are also not outcome based. We don't give Emmys on a curve. So she's not going to get one.
She had to emote. She brought.
She needed to emote.
I'm done.
But Tim McGraw, but Tim McGraw was.
Well, now,
I would put them in a similar scale as far as prior experience. I know he's had more prior experience than she has.
A few shows.
But his performance is elevated well beyond hers. So if he gets nominated, it's not a stunner. It would be a stunner if she got nominated. To me, I don't think it.
Garrison is 100% right.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, that is horrendous.
And it
did ruin the show. It did ruin the show.
Sam Elliott is the most likely.
I just think from where he is in his career. Yeah.
And LaMonica Garrett is best supporting.
He's good.
I would totally.
He's good.
Yeah.
He didn't have a ton to do. He didn't.
No.
I mean, there wasn't a great range of emotion that he. Yeah. Well, you don't. I mean, he didn't have. There just wasn't a ton of things for him to do. Now he was great. He did very well.
That's why supporting.
But he did not give a great. He didn't have a great range. But that's just the nature of that character. He was the stoic, even
moral compass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll say that they gave LaMonica Garrett more to do in the first half of the season.
He kind of disappeared in the back.
Well, yeah, he got distracted by the gypsy, which I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. So yeah, I don't blame him. Gypsies will distract anybody with their magic and their little trinkets. They're jangling.
All their bangles.
Every time she moved, you could hear like the jangling, like all this. It was so annoying.
It sounded like a coin purse every time she stands up.
I was hoping those Lakota would just take her out because of that.
It's like, be quiet, they can hear you coming.
Her Indian name would be White Woman So Loud. I mean, it's just like
jingles when she walks.
Oh, Mikey, no.
Well,
Mikey.
I mean, it was just I was like, come on.
I'm shaking again.
Literally shaking. I'm in support of my gypsy sisters and brothers right now.
No, she was fine.
I guess she's technically Romanian, I would assume. I don't know.
She's He did cast.
I think the actress is Romanian.
I think they actually cast it exactly right.
And Joseph was a true German.
Yes, he was. Yep, legless German.
Germans can drink. I agree.
So his wife checking out the way she did, not a surprise, but a brutal. That was a great scene too.
All of it. Yeah. But brutal.
You knew that wasn't going to end well for her. A traumatic brain injuries in the 1880s do not turn out well.
And then put them in the back of a wagon. That's just
let's jar her. She's been concussed now for 2 weeks. Yeah, she's. We're going to have to remind her how to eat.
Wait a minute. Is this real? Romani? Oh, Romani.
Okay.
We'll find out.
I don't. Why isn't Romanian right? I don't. Why? I thought that would.
Wow, Romani. Yeah, let's see. The Romani.
You have to put an X on the end of it.
Indo-Aryan ethnicity. Yeah, nomadic itinerant.
They're Romanics.
Traditionally, so the Romanians and the Romani are two different things.
Okay.
The gypsies
so
are the Romani.
Her being a gypsy, which is probably a slur. I don't know.
We only want your tears, gypsy. We only. What was that in Laura? Was that?
My favorite scene. There's a James Bond movie where there's a lot of gypsy stuff that happens.
That's
what
is the second movie. The second one.
Yeah. I think
the really good one. Yeah.
Wait, it's From Russia with Love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that whole scene. Russia. Anyway, we won't get off.
Anyways, we won't get
no spoilers. I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, it's good.
You need to watch it.
That is one of the best.
Maybe one of the best ones. Yeah,
I think so. It's a little bit slower, but I mean, it's pretty good.
What are we talking about here?
The hummingbird. I have to talk about the hummingbird.
Oh,
I had to reach for the handkerchief during that. I mean, that was brutal. I mean, good grief. I mean, everything that Sam Elliott did in this show brought me to tears.
Good in this. He really was, yeah.
And apparently he's not a nice guy in real life, but that's okay. I mean, he's
how could you
Tim McGraw, did you see that where Tim McGraw was like, I told him, he was like, I talked to Sam Elliott one time on set and I said, I've learned so much from you. And Sam Elliott turned to him and said, I haven't learned anything from you.
Yeah.
There was a slur in there.
Yeah,
and
I didn't learn. Yeah.
I didn't learn a damn thing from you.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, that's classic. I mean, the dude's 75 years old.
I haven't heard that Sam Elliott is trouble on set.
Oh, no, not on set. I just said, like, maybe not the nicest guy.
He's probably a salty old
dog.
Yeah. He's got that look about him, you know.
Yeah.
But he's a
if
great
you want to
actor.
see a really good Sam Elliott movie that is against type, watch Hero. He's really good in Hero because he's not playing a cowboy. He's playing like a washed-up actor who's trying to cling to.
Is that the martial arts movie with Jet Li?
Jet Li, no. That's a different one.
I don't think I could see Sam Elliott doing martial arts.
No.
Maybe.
His brittle bones would turn to dust.
I was always afraid that he was going to get hurt badly. I mean, on a horse during the filming of this show. It just like, why is he still?
He's tougher than we are.
I guess so. He probably is.
He's weathered and leathered.
He's weathered and leathered.
Yeah. Now, I was thinking that I would not survive. I'm not fit for that era of existence.
No. Yeah, I'm not either.
I mean, I stayed outside once on a camping trip, and I was thinking, look, it's a little bit of a tangent, but I watched Red Dawn the other day.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get ready. Yeah,
and it was like just as a refresher, so I would know what to do. But then I realized, like, I'm not going to live outside. I will turn myself in day one. Like I'll be that one guy, like, avenge me, because I was like, no, I'm not going out. I'm not getting out in the woods. I'm pooping in a hole.
I'm in the state of Red Dawn. Doesn't that take place in Wyoming?
That's
is that the remake?
I thought it was Colorado. I thought the remake was Michigan or Wisconsin.
The original's Colorado. The remake is Wyoming, I think.
Oh, okay. Really? I thought the remake was like in the Midwest somewhere, but it was so dumb that it doesn't exist to me.
I didn't even see that.
North Korea invaded? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
I mean, at least look, it was a little bit of a reach in 1984 to think that Nicaragua and Cuba were going to invade also, but
right.
It's a little more believable than North Korea.
Yeah,
exactly. Asian country just a little bit further west.
Yeah, well, not and sell it in that Asian country.
Right.
So no, you can't do that.
Right, exactly.
Well, we need them to buy our product. So.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, what else? What else happened? Let's see.
Well,
dude, nothing happy. Well, I guess okay. So Thomas and the gypsy is like the only happy moment.
What if it had been a twist? No, I'm not even going to go there.
Okay.
And she goes, "All right, now, thank you for helping me. You are now my." No, never mind.
No,
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Don't go there.
No. My mind goes to some bad places.
She was being used. She was just using.
No, they were going to have a lovely union. It was going to be.
And her sons talked to him and wouldn't talk to her.
A beautiful place where they
talked to her there at the end. Yeah, he's going to stake her a river if she wants.
Yeah, yep. Stake her a river.
Now, where did Yosef end up? Because it didn't really say. Was he in Montana?
I think that he was probably not far from where he couldn't get far, so he probably was just hanging out where he where he was at the time.
Well, I don't think they abandoned him. I think he probably went. I like to think of him as a neighbor of Thomas and
of Thomas. Okay,
it was just confusing because how they did it was they
it's Yosef, like he was by himself,
and then right after they showed Yosef, they like come into the valley and it says Willamette Valley, Oregon.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, well, where was Yosef then? Was he not there?
Yeah, maybe he didn't make it. I don't know. I don't think it matters because we'll never see or hear of that character ever again.
Do you think there's any like truth to Thomas and the Romani? No, the Romani.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Romani.
Do you feel like? I mean, is there some like story about maybe, I mean, I don't know. Why Willamette, Oregon? Willamette Valley, Oregon specifically. I was just curious.
Well, I don't know. I think that's where they intended to go from the beginning. So
I mean, I think they're all fictional, personally. But I
don't think any of these characters are paralleled. Now they had some real characters come into the show, like the character that Taylor Sheridan played was a real person. And then the Billy Bob Thornton character was a real person. They had
the Casper fort. They mentioned the guy. He was apparently real too.
So
give us the scoop on that. You're Wyoming.
So first off, let's talk about this whole Fort Casper thing.
Fort Casper. Yeah.
At one point, he says the General Doctor Major guy says Laramie is as far as she goes if you're lucky. Well, why would they be going to Laramie? If they're talking about Fort Laramie and they're in Fort Casper, they've already passed Fort Laramie. If they're talking about Laramie, Wyoming, it's not on the way to Oregon at all. It's like directly south pretty much of them.
TV magic. TV
Come on, Taylor.
Come on,
Taylor.
East of Fort Laramie, which means they're in Nebraska, which really means they're not able to see mountains, or they're just in a... And
you're ruining the magic for me.
Fort Casper was abandoned in 1867 completely.
Oh no. No.
And they all moved to Fort Fetterman in Douglas, Wyoming.
Well, that one was abandoned, right? That was just
it was a ranch.
That ranch was kind of homesteading there. They had some people there.
After it was abandoned, it was pretty much burnt down for the most part, and there was only a couple buildings.
Wyoming history.
Taylor. It was later rebuilt in 1913.
Yeah, well, again, I referenced it earlier. That whole bit seemed slightly off and out of sorts. Like it didn't go anywhere. It just, so yeah, that seemed like that was just cobbled together to maybe get us back on the road. I don't know, but there was something weird about it.
We know,
and look,
we know the Duttons don't exist.
I made this
real to me.
Again, I am fine with historical inaccuracies as long as you don't build the show as most historically accurate show in the history of everything.
100%. I 100% agree with you, and it surprises me that he did make what seems to be mistakes, because he claims that he's very well researched on all this stuff.
This CY Ranch was a real ranch in the Casper area. Yes. My dad actually went to CY Junior High in Casper.
Oh, okay.
The Wyoming Stock Growers Association was also a real thing and a pretty big deal in Wyoming. It did start out as an organization to standardize and organize the cattle business. This is pretty much just Wikipedia, but and did become the de facto territorial government. And it was pretty much one side of the Johnson County War, which was a pretty big deal up here. They started. People were upset because they were kind of.
I want to see the Johnson County War
for cattle wrestling.
I want to see that show.
Yes, there's a TV movie called The Johnson County War. We had to watch it in college.
What?
It's okay.
This reminds me.
We're getting some history here. Thank you.
This reminds me
Tune
of
in next week. The Deuce Cast Extra on the Johnson County War.
This reminds me of when I'm watching Watchmen for the first time, and they start talking about Tulsa, and I'm like, "What the heck? What?" And that was very real.
Look, I was annoyed at Watchmen because I was like, "Hey, alternate history didn't start until whenever it was, like the 40s or whenever, I forget exactly when it was." I was so put out to that. Then I looked it up, and I'll be damned if that wasn't a real event that nobody bothered to tell me that. I have a history degree. Nobody told me that.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is a song actually by Chris Ledoux called "The Johnson County War," and completely like an aside to this, one of my friends on Facebook from high school, I guess she's taking a Wyoming history class in college here. And she was like, hey, I like sharing this funny story about how she had to read this whole book about the Johnson County War. And she was explaining it to her husband. And her husband's like, oh, what are you talking about? That's just a Ned Ledoux song. I had to comment. I'm like, excuse me, that is not a Ned Ledoux song. That's a Chris Ledoux song. Thank you very much. His dad. But
his dad. Okay.
But yeah, so if you want, like, it's actually like she said it's pretty much a like direct retelling of the book, that song. So
is
just
anybody of note in the movie?
I don't know about in the movie.
I want to see Taylor Sheridan tell us about the Johnson County War.
That's his next film.
I'm ready to watch that. I would love that. No, he's very distracted by Texas right now. Like you can tell that his intention is to do a lot in Texas.
Oh, here it is.
Tom Berenger, Luke Perry, Burt
Reynolds.
Oh, heck yes. I want to watch that.
That's a great cast.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna watch that.
I gotta find this.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be one of those things that's very hard to find.
I'm gonna have to audit it.
You can buy the DVD on Amazon for $40.
It's a TV
you can
movie.
You can buy the DVD or VHS.
The DVD.
Okay, so there was a DVD release that's probably out of print, so it's $40 on.
But I know that you can watch it online because that's how we watched it. I just can't remember.
Yeah, it's on Stars. It's on Stars.
Is it?
Watch it right now.
I've got Stars. I'm gonna watch
it right now.
Yeah,
I'm not going.
Says Amazon.
I'll listen to the song. No, I'd rather watch the movie than listen to a country song.
Oh, the song is great. Rhett, that is fighting words.
Yeah, you're talking to a gentleman that is on that does a radio show.
He is on radio. He is literally shaking right now.
So LaMonica Garrett's character.
Yeah.
I'm mixed on that. I don't know whether I'm happy or somewhat upset that they didn't explore his blackness at all. Does that make sense? I don't know what the reaction. I don't know what
a couple lines.
He had
just one or two, but there was no reaction from anything outside the group. How common was it to see a person like him on the trail west? Was it? You're not a history. Why would I believe you? You don't.
Listen. We saw a lot of African Americans in the Fort Worth scenes, like running businesses and stuff. But at the beginning of the show,
well, they also like in the Wyoming area, all the way along the Union Pacific Railroad, the majority of the people that worked on the railroad were black.
Okay. So it would not have been particularly uncommon. I just would they cohabitating with the pioneers? Would that have been? I just don't know. It felt to me like there was a story there. There was opportunity for drama and maybe a reflection of what that was like, and we got none of it basically.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like it's on one side, it's refreshing to just cast. Make great characters and let's not get wrapped up into identity politics. But at the same time, I felt like maybe there was a story to tell there that we did not get. So that was the only thing that I felt was kind of missing from the whole show. But maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know enough about the era to be sure. It just seemed like, today it would be commented on. I mean, if that happened, if a caravan went west with there was that one person. I
will say, I think obviously racism existed in like the Western territories, Wyoming, Colorado, Montana.
It was free,
but I don't think it was a prevalent thing because they were worried about so much else.
You had to survive.
Any racist, like big racist events didn't happen against black people, I should say, until like the 1900s.
Into the 20th century. Yeah.
Until Tulsa. Which we didn't know about. I didn't know about.
Yeah. He was kind of the second in command with, Shea obviously had him as sort of his second in command and obviously knew him from the war. Mm-hmm. And I think to go west was to experience that freedom, right? So now, would these immigrants cause some brouhaha about, like you said, Rhett, with this gypsy woman? Probably not, because they would think, well, of course, a gypsy would probably, you know what I mean, not consider if there was any.
It just wasn't. I don't remember it being commented on very much, if any. Yeah. And it seemed like they chose not to tell those stories, and that's fine. I just wonder what those stories would have been. I don't know anything about that era to know what if did we miss drama opportunities, or was that pretty much the way it is?
I've heard of the Exclusion Act. I can't tell you what it is off the top of my head.
Oh, look at all these history nerds.
Well, Garrison's still in college, so he's all this stuff is fresh on his mind. He's probably like, "Dude, you stupid Gen Xers, you didn't know about Tulsa? Come on."
Yeah. No, they didn't teach us that. Okay. They didn't teach us that back then.
It was signed in 1882, and it's the Chinese Exclusion Act about prohibiting any more immigration from China. And those railroad laborers were coming from the other side, were coming from California.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've watched Kung Fu. I know. With David Carradine.
He walking
the earth. Yeah.
I learned everything I need to know about the railroad.
I'm good.
Shanghai Nights. Thank you very much. Shanghai Noon. Shanghai Noon. Sorry.
Well, and I learned everything I ever needed to know about autoerotic asphyxiation from David Carradine.
Whoa.
Well,
wow.
There's some truth to that. The way the man decided to go out.
So I do agree with Rhett, though, that probably Taylor Sheridan thought, well, let's shoot for one season. You could have unpacked it, not have Elsa die until the end of season 2.
Yeah,
you could have had more development of some like the LaMonica Thomas character with I don't even remember her name. Noemi.
Noemi.
Melissa's on a little bit of a delay, apparently.
No whammies. I mean, so there, you're right, Red. I think if maybe with a little better pacing, you could have slowed this trip down and really gotten 2 bang for your buck seasons, and so.
But at the same time,
Taylor Sheridan's not about that.
Yeah, but at the same time, I appreciate a contained, well-defined narrative. There was no wheel spinning.
No.
He had a starting point and an end point, and he went there. There was not this open-endedness that we see. I look back at. I was a big fan of Lost, and Lost its way because they didn't know when that show was going to end. They knew how it was going to end, but they didn't know how long it was going to take to get there. And it languished for a while until they put a deadline on it, and then the narrative started moving again. And this, when the narrative moved the whole time. I mean, you hadn't seen her here or there, but from a pacing standpoint, this thing moved. Yeah. And that is refreshing. I appreciate that. It was not a grab for, well, let's lock everybody in on a 2 or 3 year contract and see how far we can push this thing. He had a story to tell, and it seems like he told it.
Well, that's right. He kept the focus on Elsa and her family.
And they were the point of view characters, and we never left them. Right. We didn't go see what the villains are doing or what this batch of Indians anywhere else. We followed those were point of view characters, and we stayed with them, and I like that too. It kept the pace going.
Here I'm buried.
To respond to Garrison, JJ never knows how it's going to end.
With a lens flare. With a lens flare,
and a whimper.
I mean, I doubt that he even really wants to be doing these extra episodes, but I mean, there's probably a lot of money, and people are telling him don't leave it on the table. I mean, because it sounds like to me he just wanted to take it straight to 1932 and not revisit the 1883 era anymore. But I mean,
I guess because we see James getting shot. James,
they do need to show us. They need
resolved,
to tie up that.
We need to know how they get another kid, if it is their kid or not.
Yeah, I want to know who this Spencer.
It's probably going to be a bridge.
Well, Jacob, when a man and woman love each other very much.
Yeah, I mean, because Spencer is definitely there in those flashback scenes in Yellowstone. So we need to figure out where that kid came from.
It'll be a good bridge to 32, I'm sure.
I think that they could have told a good story and have that have been Elsa's child, but I think they would have had to have obviously make 1883 more than one season to have done that.
She was too wild and unfed.
Elsa's child. Yeah, we don't need that bloodline. I mean, she wasn't. We weren't gonna follow that line into Yellowstone because
no,
that would have been into the Comanche territory.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
the Oklahoma branch of the Dutton Ranch.
Good riddance to Elsa.
Wow.
Oh, don't say
no. Now she was a delight. She was.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
No, she wasn't a delight.
No, definitely not a delight. Nightmare.
She was lovely. She was.
Well, look, and I don't think she didn't ruin the show. Obviously,
She was lightning with the yellow hair.
It was a great show.
Poppy to Poppy.
It was a yeah.
How did the pop?
Yeah. But I had enough of her and was
that's done.
You
said I'm
glad
done.
to see her go.
Yeah,
I've had enough of her.
I don't need that narration anymore. This was
watch a season 2 of Yellowstone with no more.
Oh, Garrison! I don't think we. Garrison's just wanting this to go downhill quick, and he just.
Oh man,
we don't need to even start Red on Book of Boba Fett. I mean, we kept him off of that show for a reason.
Man, they could if those two shows. If Elsa crossed over with Book of Boba Fett, it'd be worse than that caveman sitcom from a few years ago.
Oh God. No.
Wow.
Yeah, but her ending narration was. Look, I saw a couple of articles like, "Is Elsa really dead?" And then I immediately made a mental note that the author was a fool because she was definitely dead. That didn't really happen. Okay,
right?
That was her spiritual narration being lived out in front of us as she ran off with her heathen savage.
Named Sam.
Yeah, right, Sam. So, that just bye, Elsa.
Yeah, bye, Elsa. Mm-hmm. Bye, Felicia.
But she gave the other character something to work with. I mean, she ginned up a lot of drama that everybody else got to act against, and they did great. I thought the goodbye to the two cowboys was nice.
She did,
and really Colton, beautiful when they're like riding off after they say bye to Elsa.
Yep,
really beautiful, like cinematography.
Oh yeah, all of that.
Good
that
shot. Beautiful cinematography throughout. And elevated the show to me.
The guy who is the cinematographer for Yellowstone, and I believe this one too, directed these last 3 episodes. Ben Richardson.
Richardson. Yeah. Oh, the cinematographer also directed. Oh, that's interesting. That doesn't happen often. You're right, because he was. I remember seeing his name as the director. I didn't realize he was the cinematographer also, though. That doesn't happen very often. Interesting.
And you can tell Garrison. I've never seen Friday, so.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, no. Earl did not
my
get
genre. Not my genre.
Earl didn't get the "Bye Felicia" reference. It's all right, Earl. You don't have to know about Friday.
I'm an old man.
You don't have to know about Friday. It's okay.
You should watch Friday. Watch Friday. Come back. Tell us about it.
Friday is that generation's version of Eraserhead. Is that the pot smoking movie from the 60s?
It is not. Those are not the same.
It's Eraserhead. Wasn't it like the drug scare? Yeah, it's not pretentious.
Okay, I will correct myself a little bit here. It's a series cinematography by Christina Alexandra Voros for 4 episodes.
Okay.
Mike Perry for 2 and Ben Richardson for 2.
Okay, but he did not.
It doesn't say which ones.
It doesn't say which ones. Okay, gotcha.
That's
I mean, it's hard to not shoot the West well. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. David Lynch. Exactly. Eraserhead to Friday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, my Friday was I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. That's the one I watched.
Oh, that's right. That's you boomers. Well, no, you're not a boomer, are you? You're a Gen Xer.
I don't know what I am. Yeah, one of the Gen Xer. Yeah,
you're a Gen Xer. Yeah, no, you're not. Sure. You wouldn't be considered a boomer. No way.
No, oh no, I'm not a boomer. No, I'm a
No. But it went from boomer to Gen
boomer.
X. There wasn't
He's not quite a
anything.
boomer.
There wasn't anything in between. That.
Okay, boomer.
Blackula is his Friday.
This is going down quick.
That's right, Melissa. Earl is whatever he wants to be. You're right about that. Melissa, we got a shout out to Melissa. Get well, Melissa. She had a little bit of a fall or a faint, a fall, not a fall, but she's on the mend. So I'm glad you're watching us. Hopefully, we're making you feel better.
She didn't fall off a horse like Elsa did 10 times, did she?
No, there wasn't a horse involved.
Was there a Lakota arrow involved?
No,
oh, dude.
Oh, terrible.
Brutal.
You didn't get your liver nicked, did you?
Melissa, get better.
Talk
We're
about
thinking about you.
The worst thing to do to your enemy. Dip the arrow in manure before. That's brutal. That's not
brutal.
messing around at all.
That is brutal.
Are there any Lakota left?
I would assume so.
Yeah, there are probably a lot of. I was trying to explain. I was trying to explain that to my 6-year-old today, just like the whole Native American thing and how we took their land and then we relegated them to live on reservations. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "They probably don't like us very much." I'm like, "No, they like methamphetamine. That's about all that they like."
And booze.
Oh my gosh.
We should just stop now. We need to stop now.
I'm sure there's some dealing cards somewhere. That's basically what I just said.
This is not going well. Look, I can't be part of this.
Gosh.
I can't.
Not wrong.
I mean, I'm just.
My gosh.
I mean, look,
I need to get out of this now.
Your freaking screen name's Lakota Arrow Dipper.
Hey, there are 115,000 Lakota. Okay. According to a fairly recent census, they're known as the Teton Sioux.
Okay, mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, they're subculture of the Sioux.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Current lands are in North and South Dakota.
God bless them.
That was my guess.
Yeah, they. This says they dip. They dip cards in manure now.
Better than needles, I suppose.
This is true. That's much better than needles. Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Well, phenomenal show. Not much more we can say about it. I mean, this was a lot of fun.
It was heartfelt. Thank you, Taylor Sheridan.
Thank you, Taylor Sheridan. It was a really...
It did make me tear up, I will say.
Oh, dude. Anytime Sam Elliott was on screen, if he started crying at all, like even if it was just his eyes were like glistening a little bit, I was there with him. I was right there with him.
It was kind of from like the moment that Elsa kind of realized, oh, like you've been lying to me. I think that was kind of the line that started it. And then until like they started riding away, I was like, okay, this is sad. And then Elsa started talking about birds and dirt and worms, and Tim McGraw doesn't know how to play peekaboo or what peekaboo is.
Yeah, that was all.
I didn't know. What's the first memory you had?
And I kind of stopped crying.
Daddy, what's the first memory you had?
Oh, that was so hard.
I had to take my hummingbird feeder down out of the yard because I knew I just cry all the time.
Anytime you see a hummingbird, it just brings that memory back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's good stuff. What are we doing next week? Next week.
Batman.
The crew is going to be back for the Batman. Rhett, you're welcome to join.
When is that movie?
Well, we're going to see it tomorrow.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see it tomorrow night.
Seeing it.
I better wash some pants.
Oh my god!
Because Zoe Kravitz is going to be in it.
I don't know exactly like why. Maybe you don't leave the house often, and so you need.
Just I didn't know I was going out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I am seeing The First Person in the World tomorrow.
Oh, that's a
good
pretty
for
good
you,
movie.
man. Man, I'm going to come with you.
Okay.
That's a long drive.
Collins.
Yeah, that's a bit of a
long fly.
Fort Collins has an airport.
That's true. I hope so.
Wait, what time's our movie tomorrow?
7.
Is it 7? Are we eating first?
Yes.
We'll talk about
Where
that.
are we going?
Yes, we're
I
gonna
need to know.
eat
I didn't even. This is all. Look,
Chili's, Applebee's.
rock and roll.
We
rock and
can't
roll
let our
sushi.
Rock and roll
fans
sushi,
know.
right.
Rock
Where
and roll
will be
sushi. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
There'll be some
everybody.
Lakota, they're coming after us.
All our
Gypsies or
listeners come
something.
out to Rock and Roll
No.
Sushi tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, we've got Garrison on Wednesday on the Deucecast. We did an Oscar show. We talked about, did the Oscars get it right in 2001? So yeah, we talked about that.
2001.
Yeah,
that's a good timely episode.
Well, we're just doing this as a lead up to the new Oscars. It's just something to do. It's fun. We add 5 movies. We add 5 movies to the 5 best pictures, and then we debate on if the one that should. Gladiator won that year, so think about that. Did it deserve it? Was Gladiator that good to beat everything else?
What else was there that year?
Well, Oh Brother, We're Out There. Almost Famous. You didn't like Almost Famous? Anyways, just listen to the episode. Just listen to the episode. It's on Wednesday. We're not going to tell you the end of the episode. No spoilers.
Don't spoil me on the 20-year-old Oscars.
Exactly. So, but yeah, we will be back next week for the Deucecast Extra. Back on Tuesday next week to talk about the Batman, and we're going all spoilers on it. We're not doing
what?
I mean, we're not. Yeah, we're going all spoilers.
Oh, right.
Well, if it's a 3-hour movie, then our episode should be what, 5-6 hours?
5-6 hours. We're gonna do a Red Letter Media linked episode of the
Mauler,
Batman.
yeah, Mauler's take on it.
Look, IGN 10 out of 10. They don't just give 10 out of 10.
Well, IGN is all over the map as far as their ratings go. They give some turds high marks and some great movies low ones. So who knows? I still say it's a toss.
91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, no, I think it's generally accepted as good, but I wouldn't put all that much stock in IGN specifically because they're idiots.
They gave Endgame 9.5 out of 10 just for comparison's sake.
Yeah, there's your idiocy right there.
There's your idiocy right there.
What in the world?
Do we need to fight about Endgame right now too?
No, Endgame should have been an 11.
Half in the Bad Deucecast edition.
yes. Let's start. We can dress up like VCR repairmen.
Halfway there.
I don't know that reference.
That shtick has been done. Half in the bag.
No,
I know
half.
You don't watch RLM.
No, I don't watch RLM.
You should.
I don't like the long stuff like that. That's too long.
It's 45 minutes. Their half in the bag episodes are 30% shorter than these episodes.
Fair enough. Roth, appreciate you joining us. You will certainly be back with whatever the next show is in the Yellowstone universe.
Mm-hmm. Until then, good to see you. Thanks.
No, you can come on for Batman too. Maybe we'll have like 20 people on here for Batman. I don't care.
We'll check in with you next time there's some Wyoming-based fiction.
Next time we cover the Johnson County War, we'll
next time we need to know a history of forts.
History of forts. Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Jacob,
where can people
welcome in our heart?
Oh yeah, no.
Thank you.
I'm serious. You can come back if you're. When are you seeing the Batman?
Thursday.
Okay, so yeah, you can
so
come on Tuesday. Yeah, come on
legit.
next Tuesday. We'll have we'll have everybody on it. It'll be fun. Everybody but David will come on because David can't come on Tuesdays. I guess
we'll do that on the real. The other Deucecast, the real one.
We're going to talk about the Batman on both probably, but we're going to do like a full spoiler thing on for extra. That'll be fun.
For the extra,
where can people find you on the internet, Roth?
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Not quite Truth Social yet. I'm like 400,000th in line according to the app.
Oh, that's a tough gig.
It is. But you can also listen to my podcast, The Good Day for a Movie podcast. Our last episode was on nocturnal animals, almost Woman in the Window, but I vetoed that because that movie was
Thank goodness bad. That movie was bad.
And then tomorrow night on this website of YouTube, Michael will be joining us for our Oscars predictions episode. We'll be going live for that around.
You mean Wednesday night? You mean Wednesday night?
Oh my gosh, yes, Wednesday night. It's not Tuesday today.
It's not Tuesday night. Yeah, it's Monday. I know.
Yep.
This is all screwed up.
2 days from now.
I'll be on your show Wednesday. I'll be on your
Yep.
show Wednesday.
Yeah,
We'll talk about
Wednesday.
some
Not
Oscars.
not tomorrow. You guys are seeing the Batman tomorrow.
That's correct.
Yeah, so that's the
Oh,
next
this is
episode
really
coming out.
sweet.
Thank you
She
very
would never
much,
say this
Melissa.
about our podcast, but look what she said about yours.
Oh,
That's really sweet, Melissa. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's going to be a good time. We're going to go through every single category like we did last year, I think. So
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah,
I've done the research and I'm ready to go.
I'm almost there. I have to watch Riding with Fire tonight, which I guess is on PBS.
Yeah, I can't find that anywhere. I don't know where to find that.
So I might not watch that one, but
it's a documentary, one of the best documentary nominations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know, Melissa. I'm just giving you.
And then I will be seeing Worst Person in the World. That will be my final. I will have.
I loved that movie, dude. I'll be interested to see
which one.
The Worst Person in the World. It'll be interesting.
Oh man, I
to
still want to see that.
Earl, off the grid, not really hanging out anywhere. Sometimes in the Discord. There was some requests of you to be in the Discord today, so you might want to go check that
really?
out.
4K of Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh
That's
my
right.
gosh.
The big 4K.
I'm
But you don't have a
literally
4K player
shaking right now. No, I don't. But
That doesn't matter. I don't have a 4K player.
Well, you can watch the Blu-ray version of it, I guess, and it'll.
I've already got that.
Not this one. You don't have the 40th anniversary steel.
Not that cord. Oh, sorry.
That's right.
It is.
Brett,
I'll be on a you can catch me on an apology tour through the Dakotas on a Lakota apology tour for all the things that were said on this episode.
We probably need that.
Swing by Cheyenne on your way out.
I don't think they don't know how to use the internet, do they?
My word. My gosh.
Oh no.
That's
no.
That I shouldn't have said.
No.
That's too far.
With special guest Michael Nip.
Yeah, I need to repent.
Opening act, Michael
I need to repent. It's too far.
Yeah, we'll be appearing
This is on a delay. Melissa hasn't heard what I said yet. There it is.
We'll be appearing at liquor stores throughout the Dakotas.
That is the main place you can find them.
Hopefully they don't have any Russian vodka. Hopefully it's all poured out. Pour it all out.
They don't drink vodka, Michael. They drink mouthwash.
We do CGI that would probably not work.
Oh my god!
I need to leave. This is
all right.
Disavowed.
If you dare, I mean, at this point, I'd recommend unsubscribing. But if you want to resubscribe,
supposedly bumps the number,
and then resubscribe.
Comment.
Maybe all those Russian
below.
bots will start subscribing to the Deucecast Extra. And
you have a moral obligation to deny them.
Smash the
right.
bell.
I'll need to figure that out.
Mash the bell link.
Mash the bell. Thank you, Earl. Mash the bell. Which all that really does is if we go live, it'll. I know. Look, this was a great episode for you not to be on, Garrison. All right, so we'll see you guys next Tuesday. We'll be talking about the Batman. There might be like 10 people on. I have no idea at this point, so we'll see who's all on there. Other than that, really appreciate everybody in the chat. It does make it a lot of fun for us to interact with you guys over in the chat. So appreciate those that were hanging out tonight. And we will catch you next week with the Batman.